So whenever I teach a class on the Tree of Life, I have people asking me about the work I've done in spheres. And I'm going to start with saying that I didn't invent it myself. A friend of mine invented it, I think. His name's Damon Storm, and he's the person who first helped me open a sphere. And what we would do if we were opening a sphere, and I'm going to talk about Yesid today because it's Monday and I'm wearing purple, is that first we would calculate the day and hour. So you have to open Yesid on a Monday because Monday belongs to the moon. And you need to do it, or it's done best, in the 3rd hour after dark. Now right now in September that gets really easy because there's 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night. So you start from a 7:30 sunset roughly and say 8:30 ends the 1st hour, 9:30 ends the 2nd hour. And in that 3rd hour, between 9:30 and 10:30, you would open the sphere of Yesid. To open Yesid, you would need 9 purple candles and a purple cloth on your altar. I guess there's got to be an altar underneath it. I used 2 candles, one that was carved with a sigil for Gabriel in this instance, the angel who rules it, and another that was carved with the spirit or the intelligence of the sphere. And you would take the sigils, which need to be carved during the 3rd hour of the night, between 9:30 and 10:30 right now. You'd carve that in the side of the candle, and then you would make a piece of paper into a sigil by cutting 9 edges around it and putting the sigil for the moon on one side, and on the other you'd place first a sigil for Gabriel and then for the spirit and the intelligence of Yesid. When you've gotten all that assembled, it's time to light your incense burner and make sure you've got the incense for Yesid. And as you move around, first start feeling that incense, feel the energy of it. I'd like to start with the LBRP to seal and clean the space, but when you've done work in a space for years, that kind of starts to seep into the walls, and you don't have to change or have to re-sterilize. At the very least, though, I do the Kabbalistic cross before each time I start to bring that power back into me. So as I take this incense, I start in the east because, you know, ceremonialist, you can start anywhere. And I incense over each of the candles. And after incensing them, I light them. So it's really helpful if you've got somebody working with you. But that incense is spreading the energy of Yesid around the room. And for me, the way I was taught was to feel Yesid by reaching into the incense and grabbing it and kind of tying it to each of the candles. And as you move around the room, you tie down that incense and that energy as you light the candles, and it will start to hold it there. The nice part of this is once you get it set up, you can keep it open as many hours as you want. You have to start it in the 3rd hour, but frequently an hour is not enough. And when you've got all of these prep work you have to do that you can't start till 9:30, it's often 10:15 before I'd get into the room and get things going. But at that point, you can leave the sphere open for hours and it will keep growing stronger. Often on my altar, in addition to the candles and the incense, I would have a purple chalice, and it would be filled either with a purple juice or wine, and sometimes water. I would have a purple or amethyst stone on the altar in the north, the chalice that was purple and full of wine in the east, or the west, the incense in the east, and in the south I keep the knife that I use to carve on the candles. With all of that present then, when I get around the circle, I took first the archangelic sigil, and loudly intoning the name Gabriel, I would set it to flame, and then for the spirit and the intelligence. After that, you just kind of wait, because that energy keeps picking up. Now with Yesid, there's a beautiful incense, and I'll give you the details at the end of the thing for how to do those sigils and the incenses. The incense is pretty. When you're working with Mars, the incense is a lot less pleasant. It's black pepper and sulfur. And you will know that you're doing the sphere right when you say to yourself, oh my God, we need more incense. Even if it's black pepper and sulfur that you're working on Mars. But in Yesid, it's pretty pleasant. And so you sit and let that incense fill you. Let it fill your thoughts and your mind. Let it, all of those pieces, the purple, the 9, Gabriel, incense, begin to move together and move around you. Yes, it is a wonderful sphere to do dream work in, and I've known people who've then gone into trance or decided to sleep for a little bit if you've got somebody watching the candles. The longer you are in the sphere, the more powerful the energy grows. So often I would put quite a large container of water on the altar to allow it to gather that energy and then keep it afterwards. So that if I wanted to bring Yesod back, I had Yesod water or Gabriel water. It's dreamy, it's gentle, and it's a wonderful place to start. Some of the other things that we've done in spheres is to feel that incense and continually adding it. When you've been there at least half an hour, taste the wine. Let that energy move through you. Taste the water. If you want to, even place an item of food that was purple on the altar. One of the only warnings I would give you is it's really critical not to have any black on the altar, on your person, or in the room, because each of the spheres has a virtue and a vice, and the vice is called up by wearing black. It's called the cliff off, or the dark shadow of the tree, and you really don't want to bring that energy into you. For more information, find my website, tarotjane.com, or find me on Facebook, Tarot Jane, or Traveling the Tree with Jane Pierce.